Here we go. Yeet! I love it. And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today's video is going to be a top 10 rankings. Specifically, we're going to be ranking the Conquest units that we have thus far in the game. We're going to be looking at both ships as well as characters. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Alright, so we're going to start out with ships. I know that's everybody's favorite topic. Good news is, if you don't like ships, you absolutely hate ships, you can just fast forward to the good stuff at the end. But for those of you that do ships, and in particular are big into GAC and competitive with GAC and know how important ships are, we're going to talk about them first before we get into any of the other characters that I know is super juicy and everybody loves. So first and foremost, unfortunately, because we don't have squads for ships, I can't do a true ranking. I have to kind of show this to you guys just as is by favorites. Anyway, we've got, basically at this point, folks, we've got 3 ships that have come out through Conquest. We have the Razor Crest, we have the TIE Interceptor, and then the Scythe. I struggle so much with saying that. It's like Cubs and the Silencer. It's haunting my dreams, everybody. With that being said, the number one right now with this is currently Razor Crest. Razor Crest is a vital ship in the current Executor fleet. I would argue that Executor is still currently the meta just because not a lot of people have Profundity yet. Certainly Profundity is the top. It is the best fleet at the moment. But there's just not a lot of people that have it yet. It's a pretty small number. Most people are not seeing it unless you are at the very, very top. Now, obviously, if you are a whale and you have a big old wallet, unlike my 7.7 million GP self, you probably are seeing it all the time. So you probably disagree and do not think the Razor Crest is that vital, but it's still pretty important for you because you've got the Executor since you've got a big wallet, you know. But anyway, Razor Crest is probably currently number 1 of these 3 ships. That might change in about 3 months, depending on how many people got Grand Inquisitor. Not a lot of people. Yeah, that's right, not a lot of people. So make it 3 years' time, since nobody likes the Inquisitors. Then it might change, and the Scythe more than likely is going to end up becoming the actual number 1. I would argue that this is a number 3 currently, simply because it's not out. We don't have it yet. But it is going to skyrocket up the list, folks. This thing is going to make the Empire fleet so much better. Specifically, the Empire fleet under Executrix. If you've read the kit, it's incredible. If you haven't seen it yet, you don't know about how it works, I do have another video on the breakdown of that. A sight reading session is what we call that, where we first look at some of the different kits that are revealed by CG, and we discuss some of the details of that. It's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing ship. But currently it's not out in the game, so it's got to be number 3. Number 2 on our list is the TIE Interceptor. I am lucky enough to have it at a 7-star, mostly because I went really hard for Malgus. You can see I'm on the 3-year plan with the Inquisitors here, folks. But even with a only Gear 8 9th Sister, the TIE Interceptor is still a phenomenal ship, and it makes your Thrawn fleet ridiculously better. I will be interested to see how the fleets shake out between the Scythe and the Executrix and the TIE Interceptor and Thrawn. But I am expecting that we're going to have 2 pretty good fleets. Obviously, eventually Scythe will hit up a lot harder, but TIE Interceptor will still be a very, very good fleet within its own right under Thrawn. So anyway, that pretty much caps up our ships right now. Like I said, currently Razor Crest number 1, TIE Interceptor number 2, Scythe number 3. I'm expecting the Scythe will jump up very, very quickly here in the not too distant future, though. Alright, now, all of you guys that fast forwarded to the most important part of this video that everyone probably is more interested in, and hopefully I didn't lose too many views at this point because everyone saw ships and they were like, oh, peace out. What the? I pushed the wrong button. Are we watching ships about for? But anyway, we're getting into characters now, characters specifically. So we're going to go in the reverse order. In ships, we talked about the top-down mostly because of the fact that things are going to change so much. For this, we're going to talk from the bottom to the top, because really this is not going to change. This is going to be consistent for quite a while. At the very bottom of our list, number 5, we've got Boba Fett, Scion of Django. This guy sucks. I don't have him. Thank God I was burned out on Conquest when he came out, and I just didn't care, because he's terrible. Even in TW, yes, I might be using hyperbole a little bit. In TW, with his Omicron, they're a pretty decent team. And I say pretty decent mostly because you have to put all of the best bounty hunters on that team. And even then, if you run a different lead, they're not that bad. You don't really have to have Boba Fett, Scion of Django to make this team really slap in TW. So he's without a doubt number 5 in my book, folks. Outside of TW, he's pretty much worthless. He doesn't really do anything. I'm so glad that I didn't try very hard on that one, and I have no intention of trying hard anytime soon on that. If you got him, bless you on that. You know, I hope you're having fun with them. I don't discourage anybody to get what you want. You know, it's a game. Have fun. Get the characters you want. That's cool, folks. But if you're trying to be a little bit more competitive and, you know, a slave to the meta, etc., you're probably not going to want to go super hard on Scion of Django. Next up, we've got Ben Solo. This could potentially change, but at the moment, he is not really impressing that much. He has made it much more interesting, I'll say, to take on Rey teams. I don't think it's necessarily more difficult. It certainly hasn't changed your ability to beat the Rey teams. For instance, I ran in our last GAC, I used C against the Rey team, and there was a Gear 12 Solo. Now, granted, it was a Gear 12 Solo, not Relic 7 or higher, but it didn't change the outcome of the battle. It just meant that I had to be a little bit more strategic in how I went about taking out the team. Is it going to be better in the long run? Maybe. Right now, it's not that amazing. Is it better than Scion of Django? Absolutely. But still, it's not a game-changing character like our top 3 here are. Moving on to our number 3, and this is a really tight race, in my opinion, between these top 3. There's definitely a massive Grand Canyon-sized chasm between the bottom 2 and our top 3 here. I have Malgus at number 3, mostly because he really is limited to GAC. He's phenomenal in GAC. He's pretty much a galactic legend in GAC with the right team. But that's where he's kind of capped at. Does he still have use outside of GAC? Yes. For me, he absolutely rounds out my Sith Empire team. But when I'm in TW, for instance, or if I'm doing TB, I actually elect to use the Darth Revan lead and not the Malgus lead. So immediately that Omicron, his best Omicron, is kind of rendered useless. I mean, not that it would be useful anyway in those modes, but you get the idea. His leadership isn't that good outside of GAC, in my opinion. It's not bad. It's not, Scion of Django level, but he's fairly limited in terms of how amazing he can be. He's very good in all spectrums, but he's phenomenally amazing in GAC. The other 2 are a little different. Maul and Cat do not have Omicrons, and they don't need Omicrons. They are amazing in all modes. Now, I love that they're built very differently. So Maul is obviously very, very useful under a Lord Vader lead. That's really one of the best GL teams out there currently. But I personally don't have Lord Vader, and I have just gotten him up to the point where he's usable in a Mandalorian team, and man, I love it. It's such a fun team. It is so good. So the fact that he gives you not only an elite level meta GL team, but also a top tier, like I would argue A, maybe B, but A level team when you combine all of the Mandalorians under his lead as well, such a great character. He absolutely hits so hard. Just a really great, cool character. And again, he's useful in all game modes. Everywhere in the game, he's very, very good. I do have Cat number 1. Now, am I biased? Probably. I love Ahsoka Tano. She's my absolute favorite character in Star Wars. Not even close. Not even close. I can't wait for the Ahsoka series. Season 7 is the best thing that ever came out. I know that I'm getting totally off topic here, but I don't care. I'm a total fanboy for Cat. Get over it. Back into the game now. Cat is absolutely amazing. She is a little different than Maul, though. She is amazing under certain teams and doesn't necessarily create her own team. but she does have a lot of flexibility. So she can work really well on a Scoundrel team. She works very, very, very well under a Padme lead with a Galactic Republic team. And then, of course, we all know that she is absolutely S-tier meta-breaking under a JMK team, JMK lead. I love her flexibility. So I usually in, you know, competitive modes like GAC, TW, I've got her under JMK. If we're in, for instance, TB, though, I'll usually switch her over to a Padme team, run a Padme team with her, and then I'll run a whole bunch of Galactic Republic Jedi underneath JMK, and it really helps to increase the wealth, spread the wealth, so to speak, and I'm way more successful in TB because of that. I suspect that with the new TB coming out, we're going to see her being very, very useful with the Scoundrel teams as well. Again, that flexibility that she provides, plus the insta-kill that she's got, it just puts her over Maul. It really does. Even without me fanboying, it still puts her over the top compared to the two of them. With me fanboying, it's not even close. Again, Grand Canyon. I mean, Cat's Cat. I mean, she's amazing. 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 All right, everybody. I know that this was a bit more of a silly video, but I hope you guys liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more content from me, go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications. I mentioned a couple videos that we've done earlier. Check those out. If you would like to join us for live GACs, you can check out the Twitch link below, and you can also join us on Discord for 24/7 information and content from us and the community. All right, everybody. Catch you next time.